we can have a little bit of enjoyment in life.
Yeah, our for some reason our internet just completely just kicked us out of everything and then we couldn't reopen, restream. We're just having all sorts of problems. So hopefully y'all are tuning back in and we can show off some of the stuff that we got together. But yeah, we had some issues happening here. Let's see. See if anybody's come back. Doesn't look like we have anybody back yet. No, we have two people. Nice. Hello everyone. We're coming back. Our internet just cut out and
Yeah,
we
we have
got
zero
booted from the
internet.
stream and we couldn't get anything to launch back up, so I had to reboot my whole computer and the Wi-Fi.
So
So
who knows? It's a very foggy day, or not foggy, cloudy, and it looks like it's going to rain pretty hard. So hopefully we can, get this, finish our stream. I'm kind of disgusted that we can't even really. I don't know what's going on with this.
yeah, I don't know either.
It's annoying. It feels like it's going to rain. So can you bring up the comment section? It,
There we go.
oh, hello, my friends. Oh, that was something, huh?
Yeah.
You can't win. Or the internet. We've had even spottier than usual since the hurricane. So I painted this one the other day, and this is my fish design, and I like this for an earring or a connector, like this, to hook up here and here. So I'm gonna get back on too. I did some of these have their first coat. Like this one has a first coat where I did a little bit of the green, and I used some pigment powders to color this. And now what I'm gonna do. Yes, thank you all for joining me. Sorry about that. That was a little bit crazy. And I blushed this guy a little bit with a little bit of pink after I did the white, so you could see he's getting more of a look like an axolotl or Mexican walking fish. Thank you, my friends, for coming back. It's a little bit annoying. I know. I don't love that feeling. It's one of my least favorite. Hello, Mary. Wendy does have a cool job. Wendy deals with babies. That's pretty cute. Love babies. I like the smell of babies. They smell good. Smell like my son. Nilda says your screen looks dark. Why, internet? Why? I'm having technical difficulties, my friends.
Like what kind of dark?
Yeah, give me more details.
Like black or just kind of like not a lot of light, because she does not have a whole lot of light pointed at her right now.
Oh, I don't?
No, look.
All right. Well, let's do it. Let's see. Does this help? What do you guys think? That better?
Probably. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Melanie, give us a heads up if it's better. I'm gonna do, this is called a glaze. So this is where you put a watery, but I use a lot of the medium sealant with a dark color. I used a little bit of this purple and a little bit of blue. I'm gonna wipe the extra off. I see everyone says it looks good. Thank you. Yeah, we're here. That's the best that we can do. We made it. So we had a TGBE meeting last night and it went really well. Sometimes, we had someone say, was that your last TGBE? There was a comment. And I was like, no, we're going to do this as long as y'all keep watching. So there's another one. What's the date, Azalea? May?
No, it's not going to be in no May.
Oh,
May's gone.
May is gone. It's July. I meant to say. I don't know why I said May. Forgot what land I'm in. Neil, this is not a lot of light. Yeah, I'm limited. If I put too many lights on, I have a light You see, I'll put another one here. How's that? I can barely see the. I'll just peer through all of these. You should see, you guys, I have a ton of lights behind my camera. And so when I'm looking into the screen, it's like I'm looking into the sun. I'm going to dust this green with something lighter. So I have a background. It's not as dark as I was hoping. So I'm going to try and mix something that's a little darker. And the idea is to do these quickly because if you do it too slow and you really go in there and spend a ton of time painting them, then they have to be marked pretty high. So I don't want to do that. I want to make them an affordable date, not a cheap date, but maybe a more affordable date. As Candy would say, not a cheap date. That's good. All right. Good job. I did it. I did. All right, I'm going to switch back. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a kind of a factory line. These are the ones I feel like are a little bit more done. Separate those out. See the done pile. What's done? This is not done. This is almost done. That, no, what do you think? That gave it a kind of a rose gold look with that layer of glow pink on the edges. I could go back in with a little more of this color, but this gave it kind of a sheer rose gold kind of, I don't know how I would describe that anymore. That kind of a pink gold. Look at that. And there's two different frogs. You all know I like a frog. Okay, I am going to switch to, let's see. Yeah, I wish that didn't happen because it kind of messed up our numbers because we were at almost 40 watching and now we're half that. So I am 100% annoyed. This while the stream was off, I went and put a couple, like I dry brushed, and then of course the best side's the back. Isn't that always the way it is? You're like, wow, this side looks like all one color, and then this side is purple and pink and blue. It's like the best side. All right, so I did another coat on this of the gray. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna do the glaze. All right, so you do a glaze with and get more of that clear out. Let's do matte on this one. Matte on this side. Get some of that dark eggplant color. That's to show the detail. But you have to work fast with this kind of method. That's called glazing. You glaze a darker color over. And then if you really want to do, you can highlight, and that makes all the details pop. Pretty cute, huh? Let's sit there. Let's do this one and do that glaze. That would look good on this one.
Fire soundtrack we're enjoying this evening.
Yeah, the soundtrack anyway is pretty good times. It's an 80s or an 80s
80s synth ambience, basically. But there's no singing, but it's somebody on their synthesizer.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it really makes the details pop when you add that little bit of extra. And then you can go in. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that. That's see if I can get this is already dried up. Let's do a hint of see. This is a really pretty one. Or no, let's do this one. Oh, I'm glad you guys like that elephant. This is one of my very first pieces. And you know what I did when I was first doing shows? I made this elephant, but I made it so that it was like this. It was like a huge bead, and I made it of aluminum foil and paper clay. And it was on my table for years, years and years. Need some more pink. Do with the pink or the red to blush his cheeks. Yep. I had some white over here. Where'd that white go? That's their gills. Just getting a little more color. I don't know if their eyes look like that. I don't know if I like it. Is it spooky? It looks cute. Well, you can use these paints if you keep the lid on. Melanie, you only need to really get 5 of them. White. This is the set that I made right here. These. Just like this with a black and a white on either side, and you can make pretty much any color. And you can paint wood, you can paint, what can you paint with this? Well, obviously metal, but I mean, that's all you really need it to paint. Oh, well, he wasn't my first piece that I ever made. That was the first piece in my that I went to say to sound off. All right, I'm going to show. Let's do a gold. All right, grab some of this. I can't remember if it's matte or if I did gloss. Which one do you want to do? Let's do this one. Let's see what it looks like with the gold. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of both of this kind of. And grab a little bit of this on one edge and a little bit of that. To blend. There we go. Maybe a little more. It looks good. Although this is not as saturated of a gold. I wonder what I did with the other one. I think I had a different gold. Because this one's more transparent. This one will need a couple of coats because it's more transparent. This is my favorite one, though. I think that came out good with putting a little bit of the blue and the pink. So sometimes I'll just pick up one of them and dust it with color just like that, set it down, and then go to the next one and be like, oh, this one can use it. This one needs it. And that highlights, see, that's once you have all your low lights hitting it at the very end, you get to highlight it and then everything pops. Isn't that pretty? And since it's recessed kind of in here, like this uppermost wing will probably get some of the patina removed over time of just wear and use, but the lower areas will stay exactly the same. Let's do the other side. Use up that glue. Give it that kind of, there's a little piece of shot stuck in there, and I have to get it out with a nail. I have a special nail that's exactly the right size, and it's used to pop out anything that's stuck in there. That looks pretty good. Let me see what else needs it. Let's do this one. I did a pink layer. Hit that with a little gold. All right. You think I should show? We have about 23 people watching. I don't know. Well, I would like to. Oh, it's kind of interesting. Her head is now gold. I can just leave it, right? Happy accident. It was pink at first. Now it's become gold. This is my 1000 Wishes fairy. One of my first designs. We've probably made like 10,000 of these over the years. When you use the matte, it gets a smooth coat like that. Isn't that cool? But I'm kind of deliberately trying to rub some of it so that it's not, I'm not trying to make it look like it's plated, because I don't want to be like, oh look, it's plated, but when it's just a patina. I like when there's some of the original color, metal color showing. Pretty good. Let's see. Let's try to put some on this elephant and see what happens if he gets a little bit of gold. Boy, that dries fast. Robin says, do you need to seal the pigment powders? I would seal them with some either matte or shiny, and I would just go over everything at the end. So if you put patina on, which I am doing here with these powders, I'm buffing the tops. And I'm using sealant. So this is a matte finish sealant. And if you use matte finish with like a shiny sort of pigment, it's not quite as, it's not like really shiny. It gives it kind of almost like you're looking through it, like through that glaze. I don't know how to explain it. How like porcelain, the comparison between like porcelain being kind of translucent and glass being clear. It's a translucent layer. Looks good. Let's do a little bit of this one. And then I'm going to switch gears again and show some of the things we made this week, because that's the fun. And here I've been showing my process of painting these guys. So Azalea loaded up. Let's see, is any of this stuff viable over here? I need some. I know, that's always really aggravating. You know, if you put too many colors, you can make it muddy. That's what I've noticed. So keep that in mind. You go too wild, and then it can be really muddy. So that's something. Now you can also use a spray at the end if you want to spray them and make them shiny. You just lay them all out. If you want to protect your surfaces, I'm using these patinas in between each coat. That's what I'm using to make them even stick to the metal. And they're super durable. Some of these, like this has been rattling around in my purse, and you might get a little bit of where it gets dinged up here or there, but it's pretty permanent. I mean, it's a good, I mean, I use sandpaper to remove some of the patina so that I can, highlight it. I think that looks good. See how that has it? I used some of that gold. When you have a layer of the sealant, any one of them, matte, shiny, or otherwise, you can easily put like targeted areas. So I can then go back in, and this is already, it's weird how fast it dries, but it's also really warm in here, so it's not that shocking. Yes, the purse patina, exactly so. Look at my yield. Love it. It's when I have all of my stuff spread out like that. It's happiness. How about I show some of the silver before we lose the stream? So I'm going to put some of this away just in case we lose the stream, and I can just show some of this real quick. Actually, I'm going to move the whole thing over. This is what I love about using these lunch trays or baking trays, any kind of tray. So when I'm done with one craft, I can put it aside, and boy, this is super precariously balanced. I hope Marty doesn't jump up here. Forgive all the watercolor, and this is just my bowl leaked and it made that, and I can't get it off. So we'll just pretend it's not there. Azalea should show it with her beautiful little hands. Hey, Melanie, I know you guys want to, I have a bunch of people asking me for the coins. I have to test the new product still. So, that's coming. I'm going to try it and hopefully it works. Okay. So this one, let's talk about it. This has been out of stock for a minute, like a month. We had some, and they're kind of finicky to get out of the mold. So Azalea made some of these last week. And it says, a tiger doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. And I made this one for Azalea back in the day when she was getting bullied at school. And I just wanted to remind her, you're not going to not everybody's going to like you. I mean, when you meet people, you don't like everybody you meet. So the same thing goes. And it's actually kind of like freeing to just accept that there's some folks that are going to be on your wavelength and there's some that aren't, and it's okay. So you don't have to be everybody's favorite. It's all right. But this one, there's only one, and it's on the website right now. It's on the website. Oh, Melanie, I'm behind on The Witcher. I got to catch up. So I'm going to put these here. This is on the website. Only one. Well, there's one of these. I don't know how many do we have of these, Zaya. Oh, this is a lot sale.
There's only one of those.
So there's only one, and it's the Luna Moth. We make maybe a batch every month, maybe not that often. They're kind of tricky to get out of the mold, but this is a good one, in my opinion, because if you want, you can wear it this way, where just the moth is showing, or you can show her secret, and it's her human form, her final form on the back or front, and you can hang something. I usually put a large drop of some kind. So this one is, if you're interested, it's 50 because it's sterling silver, and it's $5.50. And there's one of them. Here, let's get in there close so you can see the little She's got like, if you look, there's little on top her face. Not cute. Her face is even. And then I tucked my signature when I used to sign it as a star. I put it like right there in between her feet. And this one I would say looks good with this size of bead at the bottom, just like this. I made a necklace with this. Every time I make a necklace with it, it sells. I don't even have one for myself. And I used a really beautiful piece of aquamarine that was a very beautiful blue. So delightful. Where is the tiger on the website? Is that in the trunk show, Azalea?
It could be, but if you just search up tiger, you'll
Yeah,
find it.
hit tiger in the search bar and we'll see what happens with that. Oh, so here's another one. I have 3 of these, it looks like. This is a complete toggle. I call these a focal clasp. And a focal clasp to me is a clasp that can function as the front pendant. All right, so the 549. And part of the stuff tonight is going to be a lot on the website and on the trunk show, right, Azalea? Is that the truth on that? Am I telling the truth?
Yeah, there's though if you look at the other ones, the little buttons, the silver buttons that we had for the GBE, those will that's just a restock on those in the tray.
Okay.
And so those you'll probably find in the trunk show page. But if you can't find it, you can also type in silver because then those will pop up.
Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can search for it. It was just easier to restock.
Let me put a link.
Put.
Let me see if I can get in there.
Oh, thank you. This one is one of my favorites. I reserved this piece because it's not a cheap date as a delightful clasp that is for my most expensive beads. This is not for, this is not for your, I don't want to say if you were like on fire with the love of jasper, but it's for stuff like rubies and tourmalines and good Tahitian pearls. That's what that's for. So has a nice weight.
Get all that upside down.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So if you would like one, we have 3, and I put these on my necklaces, but I have to add that to the cost, and it's a feature. And one of the things that I've done in the past too is I've put things on this side, like a drop, like a tassel from this side, from this little hole. It's large enough, I don't know if you can see, where it can accommodate the size of it. You could put soft flex through there. You could do wire wrapping, or you could make a treasure necklace. And I've done this with multiple strands. You could put a strand, like a jump ring through here and do a multi-strand, and it looks great. And then if you have it where the beads come off of it like this, like a multiple strand, and then something that's like a larger, big, if you have a specimen bead on this side to balance out that, maybe do a double, triple strand, and then finish it with one at the top. It could be then where you can flip it. So there's a lot of possibility. So it doesn't have to be, I would not waste this for the back of the neck clasp. That's not what this is for. This are good pearls, big old juicy sapphire, something that's precious. If you're going to have a beautiful strand, it's like, I went to the Smithsonian and the Hope diamond was on display. There's like all these, and you couldn't get too close to it. It's in a great big case. I went and looked at it. I was floored how beautiful, but then you walk around to the back and the clasp is a spring clasp, like a little small spring clasp. I was like, listen, you guys just email me. There you go. Just email and I'll make you something. I'll make something custom because this is a crime for that to look like that. So I'll put this over here so you can see it. The necklace I have upstairs that utilizes this, my personal necklace that I have for this one, is made with imperial kyanite. Am I thinking about that one right? Is it the kyanite? Is the blue necklace?
It might be, yeah, I think
I
so.
think it's, or no, it's tourmaline and labradorite. That's right. All right, what else is here? Oh, okay. So this is one of my best clasps. This is the branch toggle clasp. This is a restock on this. How much is this going?
That one?
For the restock. So as I put all old prices on the restock, so that's something to be delighted about because
Yeah, that's the branch toggle.
Branch
sterling
toggle.
Silver on the page.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a discount if you get it now because we did not price it with the new sterling prices. It's all what was restocked from a couple of months ago. And then this is one of my favorites. If this one doesn't sell, I usually keep these for myself. So I made this recently to do as cord clasps for my necklaces, but these are made in silver because sometimes people like to be fancy and they feel good. They have a, like this will patina beautifully against your neck or wherever you put it because it's decorative enough where you could have that as a bracelet. It's easy enough you could do, or even if you sew. There's a lot of possibilities. I'm happy with this piece. It's very functional, but yet rustic. I was like caveman rustique. We were watching Zoolander. That's where it came from. Okay, and then you've seen the necklace. It's been in a lot of my videos recently. I'm gonna go get it and show because I was just wearing it today. Hopefully I don't knock over this whole thing. I'm gonna move it. Doing what I just said I didn't want to do. There you go. This is a good one for this size. So I made this one specifically for my treasure necklaces because I was looking for something that was in this size range. And if it flips, you can see his little feet. With the 2 holes, I use it like this. See how this is, Kathy? Check this out. So if you can imagine, that's basically 2 holes. And I just go out through the bottom and out through from the top, just like I'm showing here. And for this one, it would be the same way. Picture it. Same way. You would just go right through, and it's substantial enough to have enough weight to hold heavier beads. Because this is not, even though this necklace is probably like an 18-inch, it's not a lightweight necklace because of all these gemstones on this. So with something like this, you don't want to put like a little mini lobster claw clasp to try and fiddle with when you're wearing it. Want something decorative. This is the thing right here. I have them in pewter, but in silver, they're delightful. Super delightful. I'll put this one here so we can see it. So this was a restock. These are on the website. Are they in a trunk show part, or would you say that
I dropped a link to the
so there's a link there.
So
for the silver.
That's just on our website with the search engine put in for silver. So you'll find it in there. The only things you won't find in there are the things that have the tags on the screen.
Okay, so she didn't take pictures. These don't have a listing for them.
So they only have just so for those.
All right, so I have a few more things that have been updated. I'm going to show you those. All right, so this one has just been updated. I have maybe, how many of these is it? One each of these guys that you updated? Or a couple of each? There's a few.
Yeah, there's only one of each of the little ones. That's what I had.
So this one, let me show that. I have a beautiful necklace. I have a lot of my necklaces at the Honey Festival. Oh man, I just opened this up and it's like, boy, do I have my work cut out for me. I thought I made these necklaces, but I have to put a clasp on them. Whoa. I like a lobster clasp, but I have had a couple that the spring inside stopped working or popped, or I don't know. I couldn't see inside it to figure out what happened. But you're not. I mean, it's a button clasp. You don't have the same problems that you have with other things. Button clasp is good for a bracelet. You could see this. Couldn't you picture this as a wrap? I wonder how that would look. Let's just see. I did not design this to be a wrap bracelet, but if you want to do a wrap bracelet, all you have to do is measure have a starting point, right? measure the width of your wrist, give it a little extra how much you want, and then just then take that number and then multiply it by how many times you want to wrap around your neck. I mean your wrist, and then it'll work. This music is getting me in the mood to watch Greatest American Hero. We've been rewatching it. I don't remember the streaming service. Maybe it's Tubi. But look how good that looks. You know, I don't often wear these as bracelets because I'm afraid of dinging up, especially if you have opals, because opals are soft. I don't want to use it like that. But if you have more like tartar beads, then it's not a big deal. Just keep that in mind. If you have a bracelet that you want to use or a necklace that you want to use as a bracelet, because they could get dinged up from, or if you do put the opals on, make sure you put a bracket of bigger beads to support them, so that if they do get knocked, the bigger beads, like say you have quartz would be good around there. But see how that worked fine and dandy. I mostly wear this as a necklace. Well, I don't really. I made this one for sale, so we'll see. I don't really want it. All right, so this is a restock of this. What is that called? The Firefly? Firefly? What do I name that?
I just called that the fly button.
All right, what else do I have here? Oh, Kate. This is Kate's new favorite. She told me she loves it. And it's my Ranchu goldfish that has, look at its little face. It's so cute. We'll get in there tight and see. It's got little details. So this is another one that works like this. You see, this is a button, but in this case, I put some silver buttons. I hate my fingers showing up with all that paint on it, but I filled the gap between the holes of the button. I was trying to make this look like the body. So you can see, you could put seed beads. I used little metal, those little Charlottes I've had from Thailand, the Karen Hill tribe. I put 3 of those on it. See? And that way it made it kind of gave the illusion of the body. On this one, you probably don't need it. I've indented it. You can see there's a tiny bit of an indent between, so the cord or soft flex will just sit right down in there. This is a nice shape and size. Very good for this size of necklace. See how delicate this is? That's why I made these. These next few pieces, you will see, are perfect for that look. Okay, the next one is my favorite one of this year, and it is a little alligator. Isn't this so cute? I tried to get the essence of a gator swimming happily through the swamp, like the ones we see at the Black Hammock Bird Reserve. Isn't that cute? Look at all the detail on him, and he's look at his little. Get in there and look at that little legs, arms. Fat. He's fat. His face, he's smiling. So this is another one that will work like this. And it's super charming. I already sold the necklaces. I didn't even get a chance. I took it to the market, and it was one of the first ones because he's cute. I want to make it in gold. That's one of the things I want to make in gold. And then the last thing. Oh, Kathy, you have them all? Well, these are in silver. These are the restock for silver. And if you want some, this is a good charm. I have this in pewter. That last kit we made, you all know the kit I'm talking about. I don't know if there's some, I know there's some left, but it's $20 for, and there's still a few available if you would like to get this while I have it. One of these frogs, this beautiful piece of lepidolite, look at that sage color. It's delicious. And one of these guys, I have to punch them all though. That's the last thing that needs to take place is the punching. But imagine this painted. Man, I don't want to just picture it. I want to do it right now. Maybe we have a chance to paint that. Let's do it. But if you want this is on the website. What is this called for this? And it comes with this flip for $20. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 things in it. There's
I
a
just call it
discount.
the whimsical charm bundle.
Whimsical charm bundle. So there's a slight discount if you get it all. Usually when we added it up, it came to like 26, but we were like, let's make it 20 just to make it easy. So if you want that, this has never been sold aside from the few that I made for myself. So this is not on the web. It was never on the website, and it was never wholesale. Sometimes that's just how it is. You just don't produce it. I have a ton of things that I've never produced. So anyway, let's see, what time is it? 8:20. All right, my friends, I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, let's flip this. Where's my boy?
He's not here.
Oh, he didn't want to sit. He doesn't really like this stool because it's flat and straight across. He is not into it. So put this in the bowl, my darling kitten. Wrap it up. My co-host. Here you go, Marty. He's like, get this junk. Like platform. Okay, let's switch the cameras. All right, today, y'all, this is what's available if you're watching on replay. Greengirlstudios at yahoo.com. If you put Greengirlstudio, like right here, if you put that, I won't get it. So make sure it's Greengirlstudios. No other kind of caps or anything else in there. And if I haven't seen it and you're messaging me and you're not getting it, try another platform. Maybe it's going to my spam. I check my spam, but you never know what's going to happen. I know that there's some of my emails have been going awry. So I don't know what is with that. Oops. Here he. Look at this little boy. He's like, why are you putting it like that, Ma? Oh, I cut my own hair. You can see it's a little bit shorter. Oh, that big pop. Watch what he'll do. He'll get up on his hind legs. How hard?
Nice and fat.
So cute. He's like, Mom, what we talk about. All right. Thank you, my friends. Thanks for joining us on our live stream. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Oh, I see Melanie says, learned a lot. Thank you. Cherie, beautiful pieces, Cynthia and Azalea. I forgot to say hello. Beautiful tinting. Thank you so much. All right, my friends. We will see you. I'll be rushing back here on Sunday. The Honey Fest ends at 6. And I'm going to break it down like the wind. And I'm going to be back here. I mean, it's only 5 minutes from where we live, so it's pretty easy. So we will see you on Sunday. We have a few fun things. I'm pre-planning and getting everything ready so that it's all good. If you want to see the finished necklaces and things, I'm thinking about doing an Instagram story. I don't know how many of you are on Instagram, but I don't do a lot with as much on Instagram, so I'm going to try to change that. Oh, my son. He's like, give me more. No, it's empty. Look. There's nothing in there. Look, there's nothing in it. And he's like, I think I see something. Let me see if there's a last little bit, my darling. We'll check. Oh, look, I didn't squeeze it that good. Yeah. All right, my friends. I'm going to get something to eat. Y'all take care, and we will see you on what day is it? Sunday, right after the Honey Festival. All right, my friends.